Before we get into today's topic about VDM's take on the EFCC and some of the mistakes I believe he actually made addressing that very issue, I believe that nobody's actually perfect. Let me start by saying this. I have a very huge respect for VDM and his work. But as humans, we must balance admiration with common sense and conscience. When those we respect make mistakes, it's important that we respectfully call it out. Nobody's actually perfect. Now, about the EFCC incident last week when an officer was tragically shot during an arrest and another injured, I believe this was a case of self-defense, and this is why. The EFCC's work revolves around financial crimes, not arm-related offenses. Their jurisdiction is totally clear, so we believe that the reason why they went there in the first place was because of financial-related crimes, not armed-related offenses. There are other agencies, there are other law enforcement who are designed to handle such matters when it comes to gun-related or arm-related offenses. So we believe that the reason why the EFCC went there in the first place was because of financial crimes. So it's actually safe to say that that was actually from a place of self-defense. And in today's Nigeria, where insecurity is the order of the day, you can't possibly see that kind of a thing in the middle of the night and not defend yourself. That's actually point one. I can't disagree with Very Dark Man's statement when he said that there is no time for fighting crime. No, I can't. Especially when justifying late night operations. But we really need to understand something here. Most of all these late night operations is from a place of preventing the criminal, the suspect in this case, registered established suspect, a threat to prevent them from escaping and tampering with evidence. That is the reason why the hush puppy case he cited was a valid point, right? But here's where my disagreement with VDM begins. The public outrage and relief some Nigerians expressed over this incident didn't come from just nowhere. It's actually stemming from the frustration of this law enforcement modus operandi. Most of all these law enforcement, most of all these law agencies, their modus operandi, their pattern, scaling fences, the forceful entrances, and a lack of professionalism during these arrests. Even when there's no established criminal or suspect in that area, they still come in there to do what they want to do, and they still go scot-free. This is not even new in any way. This has been happening over the years for a long time. So it's only unfair to assume that the people who are actually showing a sign of relief or excitement over this incident are fraudsters, are all fraudsters, or their hands are not clean. Let me share a personal story with you. Last year in 2024, I was a victim of police misconduct, a very big one. A former business partner of mine who actually went into business to develop a mobile application and set up the company for a prop tech platform for the NYC core members and beyond. Along the line, allowed personal interests to overshadow our professional roles and leverage the business and leverage her professional role in the business to start seeking for marriage and me becoming the stepfather to her kids almost immediately. Then when she saw that my resistance was actually very obvious and pronounceable, she weaponized the police all the way from America to exact revenge on me. And the police, who actually expected to maintain peace and order in the society through investigation, took everything at face value, ignored investigation, instead of following the police orientation and the police guidelines. First, she filed the first petition against me, twisting the whole story to the police to exact revenge. That was how my ordeal with the police started. A petition that was written to the police, no investigation was done. They didn't even ask me, okay, where's the business? The business app was there. They didn't stop there. They went to my bank, my first bank account, and froze it without court order. Many of you may not know this, but under the law, it is wrong and it is illegal to freeze your account without court order. Under this very law. And to prove to you that that law is recognized and working, I didn't go to bank. I didn't go to any first bank. I wrote letters to first bank legal team in Lagos State, in Benin, and in Enugu State. And they went on to investigate the matter and realized that they did what they did illegally and unfroze that account for me without me having to go to the bank. You get it? And I really have to thank First Bank for doing this very thing. It shows that they are actually within the corridors of the law. No matter who you are as a person, trying to intimidate somebody by freezing their account, they use that in sack person for bank. Just in case you don't know, they use that very thing. As long as you know that your hands are clean, first of all, your hands needs to be clean first of all. Nobody can freeze your account. They have to obtain a court order stating the reason why that account should be frozen. Now, these very two things I mentioned right now is just the little things of what I experienced in the hands of the lady and in the hands of the police. Now, experiences like mine show why Nigerians expresses relief over this very incident that happened this last week. Not really from a place of enjoying somebody's death. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Nigerians will just start rejoicing because somebody was spied in the process. No. Why? Are we that heartless? Are we now existing without conscience? No, I don't think so. This is exactly what happened during EndSARS. EndSARS was a global celebration when it was introduced, when it was announced. Because nobody was happy with their modus operandi. Nobody was happy with how they conducted things. See, police brutality is not limited to only when they, buy you by firing. No, I don't think so. It's also about the mental and emotional touch that people face. It's very big on people. Very big. Somebody like me, it was very big on me. Such injustice can actually push people to their breaking point, to the point that they will decide to take their own. A lot of people may not even come out to start telling you their ordeals with all these people, but they are going through a lot. As somebody who has actually witnessed first-hand tech illiteracy among some of all these law agencies, honestly, it's very obvious and pronounceable that these people don't know what is actually involved in the tech industry, honestly. This is the reason why we need to be speaking more about these tech industries. The tech literacy is very important where these agencies are, because many young Nigerians who are actually into tech today are automatically labeled fraudsters just because their work earns them money. While other countries are actually discussing about how to install, bring about 6G and other, generations of fast internet, we are still stuck in the mindset of criminalizing legitimate tech-driven businesses. It's really heartbreaking, honestly. VDM, you of all people should understand the system failures, because you are always at the forefront of defending Nigerians, when it comes to matter of injustice. You are doing a very great job. So you understand, I believe you should understand how this thing works. So my point exactly is this: people actually showing excitement is not different from the kind of excitement they showed when the EndSARS happened, because people suffered then. It's from a place of accumulated frustration, not from a place of rejoicing because somebody died. No, get it. A lot is really happening behind the scene between the law enforcement agencies and normal Nigerians. So my point exactly, somebody like me who has actually witnessed firsthand the police misconduct in my life and saw how heartbreaking it can actually be, you can't blame anybody that feels good when such thing happens. It is not right to feel good when such thing happens, but then the trauma because of false accusations, there's nothing as killing as false accusations, extortion, and a whole lot more. You can't blame anyone. You just can't blame anyone. To the family of the EFCC officer who actually lost his life during this process, I send my condolences, but I hope that this prompts the EFCC to adjust, to have a rethink over their methods. I believe the EFCC is more sophisticated than scaling fences and doing a whole lot of unprofessional things, because I've actually witnessed them firsthand in 2019 when a case was reported there, and I saw how they handled the whole case. Their modus operandi used to be very unique, silent, well planned. They're not like the ordinary police. This whole fearful processes these days is not something that sits well or would want to sit well in every normal Nigerian. I believe one or two adjustments can be done to set things right. Two wrongs can never make a right. While addressing one wrongdoing, we must ensure that we don't commit another one. That is the only way to maintain justice and fairness in this very country. Thank you.